Topic 4.8 Continuity and Change from 1450 to 1750. The Age of Exploration, a New Global Tapestry. Imagine living in a world where two halves, long separated by vast oceans, suddenly come together. This was the reality of the period between 1450 and 1750, an era where the eastern and western hemispheres intertwined like threads in a tapestry, creating a vibrant new pattern of global interactions. The wind in our sails, technological triumphs. It was a time of remarkable innovation, with transoceanic voyaging leading the charge. Picture the caravel, a ship not much larger than a modern bus, carving through the waves with sails billowing. It was a product of combined knowledge from the classical, Islamic, and Asian worlds, which European adventurers used to harness the power of winds and currents. Why does this matter? Because these ships and their voyages wove together the world's economies and societies like never before. Seeds of change, agricultural revolution and labor dynamics. On land, agricultural labor underwent a transformation. In Europe, the growth of a market-based economy saw peasant farming evolve to meet not just local, but international appetites. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, the insatiable demand for sugar, tobacco, and cotton led to the rise of vast plantations. To staff these labor-intensive farms, the Atlantic slave trade emerged as a grim solution, forcibly relocating millions of Africans in a brutal diaspora. Consider the enormity of this shift. Entire societies uprooted and reshaped, all in the name of economic demand. Empires on the rise, the mosaic of power and people. The empires of this age, like the Ottoman, Spanish, and Portuguese, were not just political powerhouses, they were melting pots of cultures. The Ottoman Empire, for example, was like a giant canopy stretching from the gates of Vienna to the sands of Arabia, bringing together a myriad of ethnicities under one rule. This cultural diversity fueled both collaboration and conflict within these sprawling realms. Clash of titans, rivalries, and warfare. As these empires grew in wealth and reach, so did their ambitions and rivalries. The seas became battlegrounds for supremacy, with events like the defeat of the Spanish Armada, showcasing the fierce competition for maritime dominance. This wasn't just about ships and soldiers. It was about controlling the very arteries of world trade. The social weave, class, gender, and the environment. The fabric of society was changing too. The rise of global trade bolstered the mercantile class, giving birth to what we might see as an early version of the middle class. Women in these mercantile families often found themselves managing businesses, challenging traditional gender roles. Meanwhile, the environmental impact of widespread agriculture and mining began to show, altering landscapes and ecosystems. The legacy, enlightenment, and revolution. And what of the long-term effects? The shifts in social and economic structures during this period laid the groundwork for the Enlightenment and subsequent revolutions that would redefine human governance and society. As we look back from our modern vantage point, we can trace many threads of our current world back to this transformative era. So while this might seem like a chapter from the distant past, its echoes are felt in our lives today. The interwoven world we live in now, with its complex blend of cultures, its global economy, and its unending quest for equality and justice, has roots that reach deeply into the rich soil of the past. The story of 1450 to 1750 is, in many ways, the prologue to our own.